Hello and welcome back to yes, the great, the fabulous, the absolutely mind-blowingly amazing making a game, except I've changed the title to be more, fitting, I guess. It works. Not really, that's a lie. The title works, the game does not. So, oh, that is way loud. Okay. So, I may be a little tired. First day of school, normal stuff. It's okay. Well, we're back to Project Vooperia. Woo! So, today we're going to be multi-threading the thing. Because it's been I've made a mess. I have made a complete mess. I programmed a system. I thought it worked. Then I realized that it wasn't actually enabled. So I never actually changed anything except for a few small things. So the other system doesn't actually work. It was a false workingness. So now we are going to be going through, and this is the optimization stage of the game, making it run very fast. So this is the part where I rip out my hair, reprogram things, and try to squeeze out as much speed as possible in ridiculous ways. And our first way of doing that is the common practice of making it use multiple threads. Basically, using multiple threads means that your computer can do multiple things at the same time. Instead of telling it do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, you just tell it to do it all at the same time and it makes it faster. So you'll see this multi-threading boolean here. Maybe that's a true for multi-threading. I'm not even sure if it still works if it doesn't work if you set it to true. I don't think it works if you set it to false. I have done a lot of stuff. So let's just make it work when it's false. So let's see, on the gen thread it's going to, if it's not, it does this. Then what I should probably do, if I'm not going to be lazy, I should probably just revert this to how it was before. But I made so many tiny optimizations and stuff that it's probably not worth doing. I may have to just completely redesign how I'm doing this, which is painful. Oh, look! Random chunks. So here's our issue. The performance is absolutely stunning, but we have, yeah, you can see the 200 FPS in the editor, which means like 800 FPS out of the editor. But the issue is we just are not loading properly. We have these gaps, and this has been confusing me for a while. We have to figure out how to get rid of these freaking gaps, because these gaps are frustrating. And I don't understand why they happen. I don't understand why they are so mean to me. But we are going to figure it out, why it seems to be making a ring. It's very odd. I will admit it is very, very odd. So if we jump over here, we do have an error which we can deal with, which is object reference is not set to an instance of an object, and that's going for either chunk or the chunk.random. So what this tells me is very quickly, there is something seriously wrong. Like, this isn't a small problem, this is seriously wrong, because random is called, we create random right when the chunk starts. So, first off, we have to change this. Yeah, because when you multiply by this, if z is 0, this will always be the same. So we just have to do chunk z dot get hash code. There we go. If we do hash codes, and make sure that we won't ever have an issue like that again. Except we may make an integer overflow there, but I'm not going to worry about it at this moment. Okay, so the hash code's all set up now to finish. We'll get rid of one problem, but that's not the actual problem. Let me get you guys the download from my VPS. It's right here. I'll stop singing like, and then we just go back to our live dashboard and whoa, and then we just do download, and then we go bam. If you want to support development, you can always super chat, and it will make my day. Well, unless it's like 1 cent, and then YouTube takes 55%, so then I get a fourth of a cent. Not a fourth. No, 40% of a cent. Jeez, I can math. This is what school does. So we can see that all the threads are working. Working 1, finished 1, working 2, finished 2. And that should go all the way up to 9, which it does. Which tells us we have a few issues. But this is a huge one. I have no clue why it's doing that. It's actually a great question. We may be making a few mistakes somewhere. In the first place, I'm going to check his world. Making sure that everything is set to false. So let's grab chunk, drag it over here. Okay. So we're just going to look through terrain. Do we zero out the terrain at some point? That's when it makes the chunk. How about when we... No, it shouldn't be doing things when it removes the chunk, only when it makes it. Instantiate new chunk equals chunk pool 0, chunk pool dot remove, switch that, get the chunk. Solid chunk is false, air chunk is false. Surface chunk, what about surface chunk? Yep, false. Rendered equals false, is decorated equals false, is ready equals false. Those should be set to 0, those should be cleared. So where is the issue? Ooh, this neighbors loaded dot clear. Did I change that? Thank you, Fire Still Plays. I very much appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. Day hashtag made. Now let's jump over to, what is this? Chunk neighbors loaded. So that's going to be under my local structs. And let's see, clear. It sets everything to false. That's what it's supposed to do. But is there a mistake here? East, west, north, south, up, down. East, west, up, down, north, south. As long as all of them are there. And then those are just basically slightly modified vector 2s and vector 3s. So I did not make a mistake there. Okay, so that's all right. East, west, up, down, north, south, or all. Yeah, that is not our issue. I do wish I finished the falling through chunks and stuff. It's just this version of the game isn't ready to be built. Clearing the water filter, setting the chunk in the okay, loaded chunks to add in that. Debug mode, bam, bam, bam. Set active true. Add it to the queue. If it isn't generating, start the generation. Okay, that seems all right. This is working, which is actually surprising. I did not expect this to be working. So that's not our issue. Now, another thing I've touched in the past is a player class. Load chunks. I may have turned off the sorting. No, it is still sorting. Okay, so that means that the chunk isn't being initialized? What is going on? if random isn't actually existing, we're having serious wait. Okay, we may I may see a slight issue. Whoa, why are you working? Oh, you're not working. You were slightly working for a second, and that almost made me really happy. Okay. Good job, game. I was almost very proud of you, and then you let me down. Now we can do a few tests, such as, what if we plop a block down? Will it render the other chunk next to it? No. No. Okay. Well, that kind of kills the thought process there. So it isn't not getting the render call. I know there's still an error there. I'm just making sure it's not something else. These gaps are very annoying because it's something is not right, and the ring is very telling. I should be able to tell what's going on from that. When you get a pattern like that, you're supposed to catch on. I am not catching on. I can't think of what's causing this issue. I will figure it out. Okay, so let's think. We have some other errors here. First off, we have some null reference exceptions up here, which, oh shoot, it's in the same place. Those are in the same place. These are having trouble with the chunk. Maybe we had a failure during initialization. What's wrong here? No, that number is right because 256 minus 16, and then add that to jump up one Y table. That means that we're having an issue with down. That's very telling. That could actually save us here. Now you may not see why this is important, but it is, because I think we just found what I've been looking for a week. Okay, so there's something wrong with down, which means if we jump over to chunk, let's look at every spot where we're looking at the neighboring chunks. So this is going to be update block neighbors is down there. There it is, y minus 1. Plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus. Those are all good. Now things get more complicated. Check neighbors. Where is y minus 1? Y minus 1. Chunk equals world.get chunk x y minus 1 chunk z neighbors dot down neighbors loaded dot down ready. So that is not the issue. So let's pop down a little bit further and see direction dot down. If it's down, down equals chunk, neighbors loaded dot down already equals true. Okay, how about unload? Down null, down ready equals false. That's correct. So this has got to be it then. Up, up, down, 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 No. What about here, then? We have an issue somewhere. Down, down, up. Up, down. Where do we actually use this? Oh, we don't. Yeah, so we do not... What do you mean we don't use this? That's not right. I do use this. Where do I use this? I use this in the world class. That is definitely used. Unload chunk. Unload chunk. Unload chunk. I swear we use this because I've seen it. Yeah, chunk.notify others unload. Okay, that's correct then. I am not making a mistake there. So what we're going to do, don't forget to like the stream, is we're going to stop this, rerun it, and see if we have any other errors. If that's the only error we have, I'm going to go crazy looking through my own code. Because that would actually somewhat explain the problem we're having. By the way, look at those amazing trees. I know. Absolutely fantabulous trees. They're great. Okay, come on, give me 2 different errors. There's biome. There's Steamworks. I don't have Steam on, so that makes sense. Oh, I thought that was water for a second. That would have been bad. Give me a Oh, it was when I was breaking a block. It wasn't able to tell the block. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. So that wasn't the problem. This is actually the problem then. And this is a scary problem. I do not... Where is Grow Tree called from? Okay, so we have to look back very far. I hate this issue because this is pretty extensive. Grow Tree. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Chunk neighbors up. Are we making sure... Okay, so in order for that to happen, we need to make sure that before the chunk loads, before the chunk decorates, we need to make sure that all of the things around it are at least generated. But that may not be the case, because when we create a chunk, what we are doing is we are calling generate terrain, then we basically say signal the finish is generated equals true, then decorate terrain, then it decorates. No, it does not make sure it's set up before it does that. Okay, so by simplifying things, I broke everything, which means that we have to do some magic. I need to find my old code. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, old code, we need to go into services. We have to go into my collaborate. I have to open the history web dashboard. Okay, so this is important. Here's the project, and all we have to do, this basically just holds all my stuff. And it shows all the updates I've done to this. All of the different stuff. And you'll see that I've been pretty busy lately. I took a slight break somewhere around here. When did I start getting really lazy? Yeah, a month ago. Then it jumped to 2 months ago. So let's grab assets. Assets. Code. What are we gonna take here? I need to do so much. Oh man. I need to undo a few things I've done. I made a terrible mistake in an attempt to make it faster. Hopefully this is the old one. Is this the old one? Oh, this isn't the old one, is it? No, I did that before that. Yeah, this is totally the old one. I mean, not the old one. This is totally not the old one, considering it looks exactly the same. Oh, never mind. Huh. I did that before I did that. Okay, that's interesting. I'm just remembering things incorrectly now. Notify decorated, notify load. That's all correct. We just have to steal that. Actually, we can just steal all of this. It's a lot of code we're swapping out here, but I've realized that I made a horrible mistake. This, kids, is why you do not change too much of your code in one go, because then you end up having a problem and you don't realize which part of what you did caused the problem. I have a bad habit of doing that. When I get on a roll, I start just changing things like crazy, which is a horrible, horrible habit. But it's fine. All we have to do is grab all of this and paste. Now these are going to not exist. That's fine. That is completely okay. Now all we have to do is go over to code, and like I said before, local structs here. We're just going to have to download the older version of this. Oh, it shows me all of the old ones. Can I just bam, because I know I'm currently in the correct time frame. Then we just have to find the old, yeah, here we go. Back when it was twice as complicated. Actually, all of this. Isn't that nice? And now we just have to jump back to chunk, not chunk. We don't have local structs open. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're going to just fix that up real quick. So if we fix this successfully and the thing actually works afterward, that will be such a huge win. I don't think you guys understand. If the multi-threading actually works, it's huge. It's like ridiculously huge. It gives me a lot of hope in the future of this project, considering it'll make it run on low-end machines pretty well. Here we go. That's not all angry anymore. What are these guys angry about? These guys are angry because I changed that too. I didn't think I changed that. Okay, you know what? I just have to manually just write loaded instead of ready. I don't think that's even worth the amount of work it would take. Boop, 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 boop. There we go, that's all done. Now we just have to pop up here, and we have to change how this works. Is generated equals true, and instead of decorating the terrain, we're just going to do... Okay, there's a few things we should do. We need to get rid of is ready because that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, and then instead of this, we have to grab all of this. Then I have to come over here, put this stuff here. Is loaded equals true, and then notify others loaded. Oh, you're not going to like that, are you? Oh no, it's a notify others load. Yeah. Is loaded does... No, is generated is what it is. Oh, shoot. No, I don't want a feedback hub. What are you doing to me? We're gonna look at the code structure of what I was doing previously. That was working. Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore, so we get rid of that. Lots of changes just to fix something I broke in the past. It's, But it's going to be okay, because all we have to do is change, like, 2 more things. And I just need to be careful. Oh, I already have this right here. Okay. Now let's see how this worked. Initialize, generate, and then it generates. Then it used to use this, doesn't anymore. Signal genfin. Check neighbors, notify others load, is generated equals true. That's actually almost spot on. Notify others decorate. That needs to be added. I hate reverting to old code, but sometimes the things you do just don't work. And then try again, and just grab your old stuff because it was better. Okay, please work. If you work, I will be extremely proud of... Oh? Okay, we have an error. What's the error? Is it Steamworks? If it was Steamworks, it would make me really It is Steamworks. What the heck? Okay, so we have no errors, but it's still generating in this weird circle. What the actual heck? Okay, I need to think about this because something is very wrong here. Okay, so it's generating. Okay, so I'm in the second stage of debugging, which is compile it, see what it does in an actual real environment, and then because usually if I run it in the real environment, it'll spit out a whole lot more errors. And when you're looking for a problem, you like errors. Errors show you what you're doing wrong. I'd rather know what I'm doing wrong than just kind of blindly look for my mistake. While I'm waiting, I will visit chat. How are you guys doing? So I do want to know, make you guys aware that after this is done, I'm actually going to begin working on gameplay, which is I'm actually kind of worried because gameplay, even though the engine has been absolute horror to work on because the amount of work I've put into making it better than all the other voxel engines, I have some serious thinking and balancing to do to create the gameplay. Ah, yes, Alex. The current downloadable build has that issue. That's a known issue. That was fixed in the version I'm making right now. And hopefully, by the end of this video, the new download will be up, if we can get things working. So, that is the hope. Life is going well, you know. I've got school now, but that's not that bad. School isn't bad when you have potatoes. That is a new quote of mine. And yeah, quite honestly, things are going well. I want to finish up the engine of this game. It's one of my huge projects, which I'm really excited for. Okay, so let's see. What errors are you going to give me? First off, Steam. I already know you're going to do that. Steamworks, yes. Okay, let's start it off good with an error I expect. Okay, that's just rude. You're at least supposed to do something. There is the slight chance that we spawned too low. Happens like 1 in 100 times. So let's just give it an attempt. Come on, game. Okay, we have a real problem, don't we? If it's not doing anything in a real build, that is quite scare. Jeez. But why? Why, man? Usually actually, I can't say that. It's kind of random. Yes, I am using Rainmeter. Okay, so this tells us that something is much more wrong than I originally thought. Oh, fun. Nothing better. Wait. Oh. Wait. I know what it is. Quickly. Throw a water bottle. I know the problem. Hear me out. Hear me out without me opening. Hear me out. Paint. So when a chunk is generated, we do a thing where we basically... No! Am I creating the chunk and not generating? Oh no! That would be so bad. Okay, 1 second. This would make so much sense, and it would mean I'm so dumb. Oh, jeez. I should really actually get better at my job. Okay, 1 second. When we generate, because then it's technically generated, it's not running, and then it clears the list. Oh no, when we move, we clear the list. That could be killing it. Where is my... Oh, I don't even know how I can balance this to work together. Okay, let's just see if that's the problem first. I know you guys have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm thinking to myself of something it could be. I could be freaking my code the heck out. Where is my... Yeah, that's... We're gonna comment out that line. Okay, now it's going to generate a whole lot more chunks, but it generates all of them. Whoa! Whoa! Can I clap for a second, please? I am going to clap. Okay, so the problem... The problem has been found, but getting rid of that line makes things a whole lot less efficient. So, we have to balance things, which means we have to find a way to do that without messing everything up. And I've done it. I have done good. Okay. Whew. There's also a few more things I have to do just for stability reasons and reproducibility of terrain. Oh man, look at that! That 500 FPS. Disney Channel flow. Yo. Okay, so the chunk loading is pretty lazy right now. I need to make it a little bit more aggressive. It's like really lazy. Like, I mean, it's like seriously lazy. But it's really fast. I don't mean fast as in it does it once before you reach it. This is a part of multi-threading. We need the threads to actually know how fast to go. And there's a special bit of magic I can do. I can just give each thread like 5 pieces of work instead of giving them each 1 piece of work and then saying go and do it. Also, they need to finish all of the chunks before heading to the new ones, which is a huge issue. As you can see, that's not going to happen for a little bit. So we have some issues to fix, but... We did good. We did something of value. Are the chunks even still being loaded? Okay, so now that we've had very slight success at doing things, we now have to look at why this was such a problem. Because we do want to do this. World, we want, when you move, we want it to redo the queue. But here's where the issue came in. I am saying to, after I am saying, oh geez, where is... load chunk. So we are saying to generate it here, but there is a chance that it'll be added here. We'll start the coroutine. The chunk has technically been made, but then before it actually gets constructed, it's taken out of the pool. Now, that's complicated, but there's a very simple solution to this, and it's to do literally everything in here. Yeah. I never said it was a great solution, but it honestly makes more sense than what I'm currently doing. So, when we remove it here, we're going to just... Yeah, we're going to pop everything in there. So, we're just gonna real chill, grab all of this. That's all there, right? Okay, so then we... Oh, jeez. So here we instantiate it. No, we should honestly do everything there. What are we even doing? What are we adding to this list? Why isn't everything happening in here? Why am I splitting things up? Why am I confusing myself like this? I'm currently upside down, but apparently that's going to help me think. We have a lot to change because everything is very inefficient and confusing right now. Okay, so, got it. This is it. So, we are sending in load chunk XYZ is chunk loaded XYZ, then we do game object new chunk. Okay, you know what? I think we can do better. So, how are we going to send that into... Instead of sending the chunks into it, we can add it to the gen queue. Okay, instead of this, we're going to do list vector3 gen queue. Vector3i, actually, because I've designed a better version of a vector3. It's a slightly more efficient, but slight efficiency is what we're going for here. Now, this is going to freak out. Vector3 chunk position. Yes, now this is going to get more complicated. We're going to actually get rid of this completely. We're going to say if that's already, yep. Yes, that's everything we need. Wait. We have to be very careful when we do this. Okay, this isn't necessary. That's all necessary. That's all necessary. That's all necessary. Okay, so we're going to take all of that out. We're going to jump up here, and we're going to make this more complicated. Yes, very more complicated, actually. But we're going to get more and more complicated. So let's just quickly confuse ourselves. A chunk position equals that vector 3. Oh, vector 3i. Yeah, stop freaking out. Okay, now we can do x equals chunk pis dot x. Y equals chunk position dot y. Z equals chunk position dot z. Good job. Why was I checking if that was loaded already over here? Don't I do that? Don't I check? No, I don't. Okay. If world dot is chunk loaded, if it isn't loaded, X, Y, Z. I don't know why that freaked out there. X, Y, Z. So don't add it to the list unless it's not loaded. See, there are so many places here I can improve. I wrote this bit of code here like 2 years ago, so I'm not gonna blame myself too much for all the mistakes, but could definitely have some improvement here. What's wrong here? Oh, it's chunk script. Okay. Do 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 do. Okay, so we set the generation thread status to true. We create the chunk. We throw the chunk at the generator, and we expect it to actually generate it. Once it's finished, it will set it to false. We just need something to periodically tell it to do stuff. I could just put it around a giant while true loop. It's probably not a good idea. We're just going to make a checkbox, actually. We're just going to do public bool generate chunks. Then we'll be able to pause generation, which is pretty cool. That may be useful in the future. So you can say while generate chunks. Yeah, complicate things more. And then we just have to start this when the world starts. Bam. That should work. Fingers crossed, man. Oof. It's okay. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be fine. What's going wrong here? Load chunks. World dot. Oh. Okay, that is an actual thing. Oh, we just have to do... Yeah. World dot add dot genq dot add, and then we just have to do new vector 3i load list I dot x. Oh, this is gonna be fun. XXX, not actually. We have to do XYZ. Why are you freaking out on me? Oh, they're floats. Okay, that's just slightly frustrating. I can deal with it. X, Y, Z. Now we just have to cast them to an integer. Yes, you literally just write integer next to them. The beauty of modern programming. What are you saying now? Oh. Honestly, do I actually have to, like, bother with that? I don't think that's an actual... I don't think this is something that I actually have to worry about anymore. Because that's not actually doing the loading. Okay, never mind. We should probably have that set up there. Shoot, this gets more complicated as we go. So we will do... config. Where's our great config here? It's a very great config, the best config. Everyone tells me it is the nicest config they have ever seen. Okay, so we just have to do public static int chunk load delay equals, we're just gonna do 1 because that means 60 chunks per frame. I think that's safe. What delay should we use between adding chunks to the load list? There we go. Beautiful. Okay. That is wonderful. Now this config is so that, because not every computer is the same, I can't predict how this game will perform on everything. But I can do as well as I can to let people tweak it to work well. So, yield return null. Oh, I can't. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, wait. For anti. This is the most useless loop ever, isn't it? Okay, don't yell at me. I know this is dumb. I is less than. Oh, what am I doing? I mean, this technically works, so don't yell at me. That technically works, which makes me happy enough. That's also gonna freak out because we already have I defined. So we'll just do int D for delay. There we go. Bam. 10 out of 10 programming. Please work. If you work well, I will be happy. Okay, I'm not liking the null reference exception we have there. Where are you? Do. Did I change something? Something is not right here. How have I never run into this problem before? Oh, jeez. Okay, so I just have to do slight things to make sure that it doesn't freak out. That's fine. That's fine. Just a slight amount of effort. Okay, so just making sure the chunks are loaded before messing with them. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Will it work? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm actually going to place a 2 out of 10 on it working. No, it is not working. But what isn't working about it is the question we should be asking. Am I just unlucky? Will it work if I click play again? No. Okay. What is wrong? Okay, so our... Oh, wait. Are we instantiating stuff at least? No. What is going on? Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's a thing. I feel like this should go after this. Maybe that's the issue. No, that is not the issue. Debugging simulator. Player is loading. Is loading. What is this even? Ignore that. Okay, what are you gonna tell me here? What does our load list look like? Okay, it's pretty large. But it's not actually doing anything. GenQ.add. Something's wrong with the world. I mean, a lot of things are wrong with the world. You guys know what I mean. Oh, generate chunks. Needs to be true. Whoops. That's our real problem. There we are. It should actually be generating chunks. How did I make that mistake? That was just bad. I apologize. I should have caught that. Generate chunks. Boop. Now will it work? Horrible lag will mean yes. Also, please don't crash Unity. No, don't do it. Oh, but this is going to require effort to restart. Okay, it better be Unity freaking out and not my code. Unity, I'm going to blame this on you and hope that it wasn't something I did. Am I returning null anywhere? Am I doing something dumb? Am I trying to, like, take over the world or something? What's happening here? So, I'm returning null. Oh, I'm actually not returning. Yeah, but that's telling it to generate, and it's doing it on a separate thread, so I don't think that's going to cause any issues. Let's see. It shouldn't instantly crash. It should not instantly crash like that. I should at least get a little bit of warning. So let's see if I'm going to be murdered. Please, no murder. Please. Please. Don't murder. Come on! Start! Oh, it's not gonna start, is it? Oh, that's frustrating. Okay. Well, we have an issue, guys. We do have an issue. Come on, Charm. Charm. No? Okay. Now what's my issue? That's an amazing question. Probably the fact that I'm not yielding in the correct spot. 1 second, something's wrong here. Yeah, I should probably be yielding here to let the frame end. so that I don't actually freeze the entire game. Okay, take number 3. Will that fix the problem? And how far should I yield? Okay, take number... Come on. Oh, yes, we have life. But we do not have any terrain, which I'm not sure... I'm not sure if I can actually celebrate. Do we have anything under the world? Oh, no, because we don't actually have generate. Wait, what? Yes, we do. Wait, down there! Down below! Yo, there we are, and it's going to follow us. Oh, shoot, it works. Oh, yeah, look at that. A beautiful 127 FPS, and a slight garbage collection's going on. But it works! I did a thing! Woo! Okay, so, we're gonna mess around with this a little bit. That tree is cut in half. I know why that tree is cut in half. I know how to fix that. Okay, guys, so, now we're gonna up things. Remember how I said that I made it so that you can change the amount of threads? Why not do 20 chunk threads? Because, honestly, I'm not sure what's going to be the best. I like how I didn't think it was working, but it actually was working. That's the best kind of, oh, shoot. Oh, jeez, I am stuck in the ground, aren't I? I can't take it the correct direction. 1 second, I just have to set my Y to 500. Really? No. 520. No. Stab! No! I'm dead. Let's try this again. Can you, like, load before I hit the ground this time? Oh, there we are. Seems that 20 threads may be actually working a little bit worse. I need to actually test on a real machine. Like I said, things are so different in the editor. Threads don't work very well in the editor, but they work amazingly in real builds. So we're gonna see in a second how well it works. The main thing is this creates 0 garbage, so no lag spikes. Or at least most of what I've done creates 0 garbage. I have one thing left that creates garbage. 1000 FPS! Yes! Yes! 700 FPS! Please. Okay, we're down to 400. I guess I can live with 400. It's keeping pretty stable. The chunk loading is pretty lazy. It's not blowing me away. We do have a few garbage collections. But 400 FPS I'm gonna be happy with, honestly. That's the type of thing that multi-threading was supposed to do. Give us enough leeway to 400 FPS. That's good FPS. And if I look at the sky and away from the chunks and get rid of the rendering lag, I get 600. So, yeah. I'll take 400. Oh, we're down to 300, guys. We're loading so many chunks. I don't know, it's the end of the world. 300 FPS, I'm not sure that's enough for me. Look at the trees! There's so many trees. That is bad. Okay, so that's what we call the threads are not playing nice. Okay, I'll fix that later. That's gonna be an easy fix. And that's the hole where that's coming from. No real errors, a few disparities in the chunks, a few holes and floating thingies, but overall, this is actually pretty stable. With multiple threads, it's hard to get them all working together nicely because they don't know each other exist. How fun. No, go away. Bad floating piece of rock. Bad floating piece of dirt. It's okay, we will fix it all. I've had these issues in the past. Has to do with the way the chunks load and just the effort that goes into making them aware that each other exist. It could also be from me not properly clearing vertices. I'm not gonna freak out. I'm just going to enjoy the workingness. Other than the floating chunks, once again, we are ignoring all floating chunks. They are to be ignored. They will be fixed. Hey, floating chunks. Oh wait, that wasn't ignoring, was it? Oh man, I'm so happy. Multi-threading is working! What will you do, game? What will you do about it? And we're using under half a gigabyte of RAM, which means that, like, a toaster could run this. A toaster. A literal toaster. Garbage collector still gets called. Oh, here's our errors. You see, these errors are being caused by these. They're multiplying. The floating chunks are multiplying. We must run away into the desert. I'm running it. Oh no, there's a floating sand chunk now. That is actually... Quickly, we must... Actually, let's check where that error is. Can you come back? Coroutine, triangles. Okay, got it, build data. Okay. Yes, we will get rid of the... I'm surprised I'm able to break it. That means that its position data is at least correct. That's interesting. Yes, we do have to work on the floating chunks. Ah. I'm being attacked by floating chunks. They're getting quite annoying, actually. So it's time to fix things that are broken. But I will respect the FPS that we were getting there. Okay, so we need to, like, fix the error with the floating chunks. And then we need to fix everything else. First off, there is something we can do. I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not, but we could technically not wait for this to be done and just keep stacking stuff into the... Yeah, let's try that. That may make the generation a little bit faster. See this threads finished? Instead of doing this, we just kind of kill this. This is a bad idea. I should probably not do this. But they have queues for that reason. Shoot. You know, that's the purpose of a queue, to not have to do that. So we're just going to go back here. Instead of asking this... and undo all that. And now we're just going to say it is true. It's that, and we are going to add you. Okay, so with the queue system, that should work. This could be pretty messy though. Getting rid of the protections like this it will certainly change things and possibly improve the speed of chunk loading. It could also do nothing of the sort. Huh. It's not exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting it to work slightly better than that, honestly. Huh. Okay, I'm too lazy to figure out why that didn't work. I'm just gonna undo that. We're just gonna keep it how it is until I feel like I actually have to undo this because it's working. I'm not going to complain. Let's just quickly go here, collab, and multi-threading works, albeit a few issues. Okay, let's get rid of the floating chunks, guys. So, let me explain how floating chunks happen. So, think... basically, you know, I'll draw a picture. Pictures are good. So basically, when we design a chunk, we're using pools to make sure we don't get rid of or waste memory. So we've got our chunk. This is my great chunk. Look at that beautiful grass. And then we put it into a box. And when we put it into a box... oh yeah, look at that arrow. So, if we put this chunk into this box, I didn't even mean to... oh, jeez, that's bad. So we put it into this box. But when the other chunks are loading, they may actually try to use that box. Usually it works fine. You have the box going, and you have another one, and you have the box going. But sometimes it tries to send it to both at the same time. And only one of them will succeed, and then the other one won't. And sometimes the one that doesn't succeed is the one it was actually supposed to go to. So everything needs to work together and not steal each other's chunks. So the main thing to look at is, where are we sharing data? Well, we're sharing data in a few places. We're sharing it over at... loaded chunks, region pool, chunk pool, these don't matter. But we also have the generation threads, but they don't matter because I made sure those are thread safe. So what we're left with is this, really, this terrain dictionary, which I think is where the problems are stemming from. But we can figure it out rather quickly. We just have to run it like... oh, shoot. No, that's not going to work. Okay. So instead, we have to use slight amounts of effort. We have to get a floating chunk to load so that I can look at it and see what the heck is going on with it. Come on, loading chunk, I know you exist. I will find my enemy. There we go. It's gotta be somewhere, although... it may have went under... no, it loaded. No, it didn't. Okay, it may have went underground. I just need one that I can find easily. Oh, that tree is cut in half. Trees, don't worry. I'm going to give you attention soon. I know how to fix that. Or would that fix that? Oh, well, I'll figure it out. That's not of the utmost priority right now. Right now, we're fixing the floating chunks. In order to do that, we have to understand the floating chunks. You must understand your enemy to defeat your enemy. Jeez, this chunk loading is so lazy. This is really annoying. So instead, we're gonna do... it loop count. Why would we yield return null if that is not equal to... Where's this go? This runs all the way up to here. This is really where we should be running our yield return null at. Whoops. But we're going to do, when this happens, it does loop count plus plus. Over at config, instead of chunk load delay, no, that's a different thing. Public static int. These are starting to make less and less sense. But this is saying skip every third frame. It's necessary to make sure that it doesn't get into an endless loop, but we don't have to do it every time. And then all we have to do is go over to world, and then we say if... Why are you complaining? Oh, equals 0. There we go. Beautiful. And then all we have to do is if the remainder of dividing loop count by the number equals 0. Yes, that symbol means remainder, the percent sign. It's useful for things like this. And now it should go 3 times faster, technically. Probably at an FPS hit, but I'm not too worried about FPS hits right now. You tried to remove a chunk that doesn't exist. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. See, this is what we call a bad situation. When our loop count equals 0, loop count plus plus in the while loop, where is this going down? Oh, shoot. You know, that didn't make much sense anyways. Why are we... This should honestly be moved up a little bit higher. Wait, where is this? If we trace this up... Yeah, that's here. Loop count plus plus. Do all that. Oh, geez, we have to move this down. That's annoying. Ugh. Okay, come on. Oof. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, I know why I did that. Okay. That makes proper sense, actually, because that is only being moved up if that is true, which means I need to do it. Up here. Bam, that makes more sense. So the lesson to be learned here is try again. And then when it doesn't work, eventually try some more. But watch this. This is actually going to work now. Aha! Where is the land? Shoot. Maybe not. Maybe not. No, that is not actually... Oh! Never mind, I take it back. I take it all back. Why am I trying to remove chunks that don't exist? That could actually be a sign of our earlier problem. So, you know, I'm not going to complain. That could explain what's wrong. Where is this actually? Can we figure out where this is being called from? Why is it thinking that chunks exist that don't exist? That's a good question. Running through here. I mean, we are loading quite a few. With some success. I mean, we haven't had any weird errors. I'm not sure that what we did before actually helped anything, so I may undo it. Okay, looks like we can close this down. Boop. I'm not sure if we're actually going to see any difference here, but it works. That's what matters. And I think we are going to end things here. I mean, we're going to do one more build of it. Do 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 1000 FPS. Did I spawn under? Oh no, it's the ocean! Oof. I have actually hit the ocean. Okay. So I've hit rock bottom. Shoot. I am in the ocean. This is not the best place to be at the moment. Underwater. Great underwater effects we have here. 10 out of 10. Okay. Each jump we can go up to, but it looks like there's some land up here. Okay, we'll be fine. Come on. Bring us a little bit closer. I see the shore. We're so close. Ah, the ocean. How wonderful. That is a strange looking tree. But ocean. Would you look at that? Hello, floating chunk. We're going to ignore you exist. Oh, man. So much effort has gone into this. Well, I think that is going to do it. Oh, I forgot I can actually get leaf blocks. Do those act weird? They probably don't. I think I programmed them correctly. No, they don't. Yay. Oh man, I'm just gonna make a house out of leaves. Like any normal person. I need to add it so that when you break the bottom of a tree, the entire thing falls down. Oh wait, logs are rotatable, so I can actually mess with that. Yeah, let's just place it that way. Oh no! It's not... Oh, that's because I set it as a new... Okay. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Frustration sets in. No. Okay, so I have to link 2 APIs I wrote there so that those work together. With the breaking and then placing. Disappointing, log. I expected you to work better. Even though I know exactly why you're not working, and it's my fault. I'm going to climb up this extremely steep cliff. Ignore the floating blocks, and take refuge under a tree. Well guys, thank you for watching. As you can see, things are getting done over time. Today we killed a bug that basically was crippling, so that's nice. And I will see you all next time. I also have a bit of work to do on the whole chunk loading. I mean, it works and it's multi-threaded, but there is some work to actually do before we have any luck. So, bye-ish. You let me just shut this off, rest a little bit, leave the dungeon I've been put into program. Where is Bam? Peace out.